Hey there and welcome. It's Keith Yackey, founder of Private Money Pro and the creator of the Private Money Process, the step-by-step guide to raising all the funds for your real estate deals. And I'm so excited that you joined me on this video, and I'm excited that you downloaded the one-page Private Money Planner. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you came to this video from somewhere else, just go ahead, it's in a link below, just click on it, download it, and then go through this with me and I can show you exactly the 6 essential steps, more like a checklist, that you really need to go through to understand precisely how to raise private money. This is the steps that I've used to raise over $45 million in the last 8 years for my deals. These are the same steps that I've taught millionaires how to go out and raise money for their deals. If you're looking to fund your first deal or your 100th deal or your 1,000th deal, I get it. I've been there, done that. Whether it's for single family, flips, whether it's for buy and holds, whether it's for apartment buildings, these types of things. This works in every situation. Now, here's the thing. Most people they're nervous about raising private money, or they're nervous about real estate investing because you've probably heard some of the naysayers out there. They're saying, oh, you should have got into this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Well, let me tell you something. That's a crock of bologna sauce, and I'll tell you why. Because 8 years ago, when I got into this game, I was calling realtor after realtor after realtor, and I would say, hey, I'd like to find a fixer and flipper, or I'd like to find something, a good real estate investment. And you know what I heard over and over and over again? Oh, sweetie. Oh, poor baby. You should have come here, 5 years ago. The game's over. Really? The game was just starting back then. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? And so you're probably hearing those same types of things from others about, oh, you're going to invest in real estate? Oh my gosh, don't you know about the real estate market? It's down, it's up, it's whatever. And there's people out there with all sorts of crazy ideas that I just say, phooey on you. Unless you're in this game and you're investing full time, you probably don't really know what's really happening in the real estate market. And I've seen stuff go up and down over the last 8 years. And I've seen people come and I've seen people go. But I'll tell you this. When I started, I was told the exact same thing. You should have come here a while ago. But guess what they're going to be saying in 8 years? Oh, you should have been here 8 years ago. And it's like, listen, what's really happening on the down low, what's really happening in the investing world of real estate, we're seeing it day in and day out. We're still getting lots of deals. We're still funding deals. We're still selling deals. All the naysayers on CNN or whatever other channel out there talking about real estate, they don't know what they're talking about. All right, so with that being said, I also want to kind of clarify a little bit of who I am. Yes, you may have heard my story and you know I've raised $45 million over the last 8 years, and that's fantastic, but I don't say that to kind of beat my chest and show you how cool I am or what I've done. I literally say that so that you can understand that there is hope, that there is an environment right now, there is a climate right now in the real estate investing world that's more ripe than ever before. In fact, I kind of like it that the news stations are saying this is bad and that's not good and you shouldn't do this, because it really weeds out all the amateurs, keeps the weekend warriors at home, where the full-time investors, we're still cranking through and we're still making our money and we're still loving this business. But when I say I'm loving this business, it hasn't always been that way for me. In fact, 8 years ago, I really got to my threshold where I knew that I had the potential to be a business owner, to go out on my own, to do my own thing. But I was stifled. I was held back. It was really my fears that were holding me back, actually. And then I got a call. I got a call from my mom, and she said, Keith, I literally have been given 3 months to live from the doctor. And that really just, it stopped me in my tracks, realizing, wait a second, this person that I love and adore, that has been so good to me, that has worked so hard just to be able to provide for myself, my brother, and my sister as we were growing up. This lady that everybody who knew her says, man, she's a saint. She's such an amazing person. And now she has been struck with cancer and was about ready to die. And die at a young age, 58 years old. And so when I got this call, at first I was angry, at first I was shocked, then I was pissed, then I was surprised, then I was like, you go through those whole emotions when you get that call. And for those of you who have gotten that call from people that you love, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then when I went to visit her, I saw her there in that living room, and I saw the floor-to-ceiling windows that I had seen so many times. I'd seen the TV that we had so many, we'd watched so much TV. So many memories had been created in that room, but the room was different when I showed up this time. It was different because there was a hospital bed, and there was a nurse coming in every hour, in and out, in and out. my mom's skin looked differently. Her hair was gone. She actually had a wig by her bed just to put it on so she would feel pretty at times. And I'll tell you, when I saw that scene, it really opened my eyes up. But speaking of eyes, I looked into my mother's eyes, and I saw in her eyes what I perceived to be regret. Regret that she hadn't done all the things that she wanted to do. She hadn't become the person she wanted to become. That things in life, that she didn't go where she wanted to go. That maybe there was things, that fear had held her back from things. And it was literally at that point, it was at that moment that I decided, I'm going to live my life of no regrets. I don't want to get the end and be like, I should have started a business. I didn't want to get to the end and say, fear held me back from doing what I knew that I could do, but everybody else around me is saying you shouldn't do. Because I'll tell you what, if you're anything like me, when you started your business, or when you're about ready to start your business, there's the naysayers. Oh, you've got a good job. You've got a great family. Why don't you just settle, relax, relax, relax? And I was like, no, I can't relax. I know there's something inside me that I can go build, that I can go create, and I don't want to get at the end and feel like I should have done that. I don't want to live a life of regrets. And so really my passion comes from, listen, if somebody 8 years ago was able to lay out for me about how I could get over my fears, lay out for me the big question marks in my head about here's how you do X, Y, and Z to be able to create this business, oh my gosh, I would have went crazy and would have gladly flocked to whatever they were teaching me. And that's exactly what happened. So I jumped out after my mom had passed. We mourned and we grieved her death. And it was one of those things where you're just like, wow, I can't believe she's gone. But now I need to live my life in such a way where I live a life of no regrets. That if I see that business, I'm going to go tackle that business. If I'm going to go do this thing, I'm going to go do it with all of my heart, all of my passion, all of who I am. So the reason I share that with you, because I know you downloaded the one-page private money planner to learn the steps and tactics and techniques on how to raise private money in today's market. I wanted you to get a little feel of who I am, where I'm coming from, and why I'm so stinking passionate when I share this stuff with you. So with that, let's get in this. First and foremost, I use this sheet, and all of my fellow investors and my buddies, who are millionaires and multimillionaires that use this sheet to raise money for their deals, they literally pull it out. They write the address right underneath where it says one-page private money planner. You'll see it says property address. They write the address down. The reason why we write this down, and don't just do it mentally, is because when you write it down, it makes you literally work through what's happening. So the very first thing is we write the property address. We write it right up here. It'll say property address. So we'll just put the property address right here. Property address. And let's just say it's 123 Main Street. All right. So we know that our goal, our job, is to make sure that we raise money for 123 Main Street. We've written it down. We've put it down. Now, the very first thing we have to ask ourselves is where are we going to? The first thing here is where are we going to connect? Where are we going to connect? Where are we going to connect with other investors? Where are we going to go where people have what we need, which is money, and they like what we like? They like what we like, real estate. They have what we need, money for these deals. Because most people don't understand that there's so much money out there right now. People are wanting to invest in real estate. And we're not talking big hedge funds. We're not talking, big investment groups. We're talking aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, wives, cousins. These are where I raised my money from. I didn't go to some big hedge fund. In fact, when I went and sat down with those guys, they were just like, that's not where you're going to find it. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself, but where are we going to connect? Let's talk about where we're going to connect. First and foremost, I like to label out my top 3 areas where I'm going to go connect. Okay, and these might be where you've gone in the past to connect with other people, or now areas you want to try and connect with other people. So I'll write down my first top 3 that I like. Okay, my top 3. One of the things that I like to go to is I love going to seminars. You will find me at live events all the time. I love them. I love them. I love them. So seminars. Maybe you've come from a real estate investment seminar or a guru, and you've met with a bunch of other people there. Those are such great ways to connect with people that are all going in the same direction. Fantastic, fantastic place to go. So seminars is a great place. And think about who did I meet at that seminar, or what seminar is coming up that I can go to where I can literally go and connect. I have a friend of mine who has raised millions and millions of dollars for his real estate deals that he literally just goes to every seminar he can just to network. Smart move, smart move. Okay, seminars. Where can I connect with people? Second, maybe a little more local would be your REI club, or nowadays in the online world, they're called Meetups. Go to meetup.com, look for a real estate investment club. You're going to meet with local people. You're going to meet with local people that invest in real estate as well, that you can either bring deals to wholesale them to, or specifically like we're trying to do here, raising private money. You can bring your deals and say, hey, listen, you want to join venture on this deal with me, etc. You're going to find lots of people there. And then another place that I love to go that most people are not even teaching about these days, and I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite places to go, to the courthouse steps. Hot diggity dog. This can be an amazing place for you to go. Why? Because it's people who like real estate, and what do they have? Cash. Hard money lenders are there, private money lenders are there. Everybody who's got cash that likes real estate, that's looking for a good deal, is there. It's a fantastic place to go. Now, you need to know what to say, you need to know how to talk to them, but it's a fantastic place. So I'm always thinking, when I'm working through this one pager, where are the places? Now, you can go to 4, 5, 6, 7 different places. But right now, I'm going to share with you 3. The seminars I love to go to: real estate clubs, meetups, awesome, courthouse steps, meeting with other investors. Fantastic places to go. If there's more, write them down so that you know, hey, I need to go connect with these people. I need to go connect in this space. I need to go connect with that group. All right? So this is where we've got to go connect with them. Now, here's where the checklist kind of comes in. The next box we go to is credibility. Credibility. All right? Have you built your credibility package? Have you gone into the area that you want to invest in and reached out to realtors and say, hey, show me deals that have already been flipped? Have you found out the purchase price of when they were kind of a dog? And then what was the sale price when they turned into a diamond, right? Did you get a hold of the contractor and find out what the renovation budget was on there? And then did you kind of do the math there, the purchase price plus the renovation plus some closing costs, minus whatever the sales price is going to give you close to the approximation of what your profit was there. Have you done that on 2 or 3 deals right in that area? If you have, you now have a credibility package that you can show to investors. All right? Or if you've already done deals, have you put your deals together? Do you have examples of before and after pictures and numbers of profit that you have made? If you put that together, you now have a good credibility package. If you say, Keith, I haven't done a deal, or I haven't quite gone into a city and done that yet, you need to do that. You have to go and build a credibility package, whether it's your deals or not your deals. And when you're doing, and if it's not your deals, you don't say, hey, this is my deals. You just say, these are deals that are being done in this area, okay? Then you need to put together a bio of who you are. Just let us know what you've done. Every lender wants to know a little bit about who they're lending to. Whether you say, well, I haven't done any real estate, that's okay. Tell us if you're an engineer. Tell us if you're a rocket scientist, or if you're a nurse or whatever. Let us know what awards, what acknowledgments, what things have you done that are noteworthy. Everybody's done something that's noteworthy. And if you haven't, then that's okay. Just go build the credibility package like I teach you about going and finding these deals that have been done in the area and put that together. All right, checklist. Have you done these things? Have you built package? Do you have your past deals to show? And have you put together a bio of who you are? These things are so important, guys. And when you actually dial these in, you can really make yourself come across as very credible, not only as a real estate investor, but as a human being. Because that's what people are looking for. They want to invest, especially when you're raising private money. Aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, friends, family, people that come into your sphere of influence, people that come into your circle. They're going to say, do I trust this person? Do I like this person? Do I trust this person? Do I like this person? Cool. They seem to know what they're doing in real estate, and there's ways to make money with them. Let's go for it. So building your credibility is absolutely huge. Okay, next question. We have to ask ourselves. It has to do with content. Content. When you are showing somebody and giving them the opportunity to invest with you, to make money with you, you have to display and portray the content to them in a way that's easily understandable and a way that they can say, yeah, I'm on board with that. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense to me. And I like to just keep it really simple. Yes, I put it into a nice, clean, concise investor package, but I like to keep everything very simple. And these are the 3 things that you absolutely have to have. There are some few little other things you have to have, but you've got to show these 3 things for sure. Number 1, you obviously need to show what the all-in amount is. Or basically, what's the amount of the investment? I got to show them what the heck the amount of the investment that they're going to be putting in is, right? I need to show them the time frame. When can they expect their money back? They need to know, well, how long is this going to take? Am I going to be in this thing for 3 months? Am I going to be in it for 6 months? Is this a year? Is this a buy and hold situation where we're hanging on for 5 years and then selling off? What are we doing? So you got to let them know the time frame, right? And then last and more, it's super important. This is maybe more important, the most important. ROI, their return on their investment. How much are they going to make? What is the investment that they're going to put out, and what are they going to make back on that? I can tell you this much. You know, on a fix and flip, people, if you're going to raise private money pretty easily, you're going to want to find something at least 12% cash on cash or higher. Straight, you know, forward. That's what you're going to be looking for as far as flips are concerned. Now, if you're doing a buy and hold, if somebody's making 5, 6, 8% on a preferred return, and there's a possibility of some upswing, if you're buying and it's an area that's going up, like an emerging market, awesome. You're able to raise lots of money at those types of percentages as well. So, but you got to remember, as you're putting this content together, this is not written on the back of a napkin like, hey, do you want to do this? No, you've got to be a pro about this. Hey, here's what the total investment is going to cost. Here's what's involved in that. Here's the purchase price, the renovation, the holding cost. Boom, boom, boom. Laid it out. Here's pictures of the property. Here's why we believe we can sell it for this much or why we believe we can rent it for this much, because here's the comps, the comparables. You got to have all of that in there, or else you're going to look like you're an amateur. And amateurs don't raise lots of private monies. Professionals do. And that's what we're teaching you to become, a true pro at raising private money. All right, so you got to lay out for them what is the ROI. Lay it out in a good, clean, concise investor packet. All right. Next thing they're going to want to know, and then the next thing, the checklist for you has got to be this right here, confidence. Confidence really has 2 parts, how you view yourself and then how you view the lender, how you view the private money lender. You got to understand, people want to make money. They want to make more money. Lenders want to lend money. Private lenders want to make more money, and the only way they can do that is by lending money out. And this is a checklist for you that you got to check 2 things. You really got to make sure that you're not being these 2 things. This will kill your ability to raise private money from friends, family, and from people as your circles get bigger and bigger. These 2 things will kill you, and if you're doing them, stop. I'm warning you, you do these things, I break you. Okay, check this out. You cannot be, boom, boom, desperate, or needy. You cannot be desperate or needy. Oh my gosh, I absolutely need this, blah, blah, blah. You can't come across that way. You can't do it. If you do it, you're going to repel people. There's things that attract people to your deal. They're going to make a great ROI. You're saying, hey, I'm going to let you know. And you want to use phrases like this. I'm going to let you in on an opportunity. There's a lot of other people that are wanting to get in on this. Well, as I'm raising private money, there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, your next deal, send it over to me. That's a powerful place to be in. Okay? So you cannot become across as desperate or needy. And so when you're checking this box, confidence, check the verbiage on your emails. Hey, I've got an opportunity for you to make some money with me. If you're saying, hey, can I borrow money for my deal so I can make money and borrow, boo-hoo-hoo, what's going to happen is you're going to turn that person off. Go check your verbiage. Is my verbiage confident? Do I believe that this deal is going to work? And if so, am I acting that way? If so, am I believing this? And if I believe this, does my posture, just my vocal tone, does everything match with what I'm doing in raising money for this property? You've got to check this. Check this. All right? Next. this is really, really important, and people can go all the way through this and not do this piece, and it's all for naught. You have to close. What do you mean by close, Keith? Well, there's things that you have to do. You have to make it easy for your private investor, and this is what I mean by that. You want to give them the wire instructions, and the deadline. Or I just put closing deadlines or closing dates. What that means is this. You're not going to say, oh, go get a hold of the escrow agent and figure it out. No, you're going to get a hold of the escrow agent. You're going to say, okay, hey, listen, here's the wiring instructions. The money needs to be in at such and such time, so go ahead and wire it so we can get everything done. They're not going to wire you the money. They're going to wire money to the closing, to the escrow. Okay? By you taking care of this, it makes it easy for them. They don't have to be like, oh, what do I do? Where do I? No. Hey, here's the investor packet. I've got a lot of other investors looking at this investor packet. If you want to jump on, let me know. But let me know soon, because I've got a lot of other guys that are obviously very excited about this deal because it's a great money maker. It's a really high ROI. And when you're ready to go, you let me know. Here's the wiring instructions, and here's the deadline and the closing dates that this all has to be done by. Boom. Everything's laid out. They have nothing. They have no questions. We want to just eliminate all the quirky, awkward questions that don't have to be there. Okay? Now, once you've said, hey, I know where I'm going to go connect with people, I've built my credibility package so they can see that I'm the person that they want to go to talk to about this. I've put my content together in such a way that I look like a professional and not an amateur. I've got confidence in what I'm doing, either because of past deals or because the numbers are right. Those are the two things. Your credibility and your content are going to lend to you your confidence, really. Okay? And am I making everything easy so they can just close, so they can actually wire the money into escrow, and so we can rock and roll? All right? Now, after you've got all that together, the question you're going to be asking yourself here is, who can I collaborate on this? Who do I collaborate with on this? Who do I know that might want a joint venture? Connecting is going and meeting new people. Collaborating is working with people that you might already know. Who has in the past? And again, this is our checklist. We're going through this. This is why this one-page private money planner is so powerful, and this is why we write it down, because it forces me to ask all the questions. Who am I out there working, looking to meet in my new connections? Have I built my credibility? Is my content on point? Is it good? If not, I need to make sure it is, or I need to scrap the deal. Is my confidence high? Am I portraying that? Am I instilling that in others? And do I have everything ready to go for them to close with? Now, who has reached out to me in the past? Who has said, man, next time you get a deal, send it over my way? Who do I know that might be interested? So the question really is here, who do I know? Who do I know? Question mark. That might possibly want to collaborate with me on this deal. Who do I know that might want to be a part of this? Who has said they're already interested? Go back there and talk with them about this. Raising private money doesn't have to be that difficult. And here's the thing. Some people say, they go, oh, Keith, I'm not good at raising private money. I'm not good at all of this. Nobody was born good at this. That's why I created this simple one-page planner. That's why I put together a system. That's why people hire me to come in and consult with them, to look at their business, to show them how to go to the next level. It's because nobody was born great at it. It is a skill. So the question isn't, are you good at it? The question is, will you become good at it? Will you put in the hard work to become a master? Will you master the skill of raising private money? I can tell you, it is the most important skill in all of business. When you can master raising private money, you can write your own ticket. It's that simple. Because you have a deal, boom, you can raise money for it. You have a deal, boom, you can raise money for it. You're never wondering, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. Now, there are those people who will not put in the time. They will not put in the effort. They will not say, you know what? I'm going to honor the struggle of doing this. I'm going to honor the struggle. For those of us who said, I'm going to honor the struggle, I'm going to put myself out there, I'm going to go learn this, I'm going to invest in myself in learning this new skill that will ultimately set me free. For those of us who have done that, you see us walking around very confidently, very big smiles on our face, knowing that we can write our own ticket, knowing that we're not nervous about what's coming around the bend. Because whatever's coming around the bend, we're coming with it, and we know who we are. And we know the ability and skill that we've worked. And I love it. There's an Under Armour ad out there right now with Tom Brady and Stephen Curry, and it says, "You are the sum of your training." You are the sum of your training. And unfortunately, in our culture, most people, we just want microwave food. We want fast food. We want it now. That's not going to make you healthy. That's not going to make you strong. This instant gratification. Just show me one bullet. Show me one way. Teach me how to do it right now. No, this is a skill. And those who decide to master it, those who decide that they are going to learn it and pour their heart into it with passion and take their lumps and move forward. Listen, the payoff is tremendous. If you would have told me 8 years ago, Keith, you're going to be the guy that will be on camera sharing with others that you've raised over $45 million for your real estate business, that you've ran and been a part of 7-figure real estate investing businesses, I would have told you you're crazy. My goal was to eventually make $100,000 one year. And if I could have done that, I would be like rich. And to now think that I put myself and just dove in to learn this, that I'm this far along, that's why I teach with such passion and my bowels, I get into it because of this. I know that 8 years ago when I knew nothing and I was able to raise $45 million by learning all of this, that this system that I've created for raising private money, there's nothing out there anywhere even close to what's going on like this. Nowhere. Just the full A to Z all the way through. Reducing it down to one sheet in the 6 essential items. I'll tell you what. I feel so blessed and so honored to be able to work with the people that I've been able to work with over the last 6, 7, 8 years. Being able to have the opportunity to literally stand on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people and share with them how they too can raise private money for their deals. This has been an honor to be able to jump on camera and to share my system and to have, so many people be a part of our programs, come to live events, stuff like that. It's such an honor. I still have to pinch myself from time to time and think, wow, this is really happening. But I know that I was willing to put in the work. I was willing to say, I'm going to learn this. And it's a skill that few people want to learn because it's so daunting at first. But I hope that you can see it's actually a lot easier. And as we go along in further videos, I want to show you how much easier it really is as I break down just step by step by step. So in the next video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that every investor that I know before I've consulted with them or met with them or whatever, the 3 biggest mistakes almost everyone I know raising private money is making and how to fix them. So listen, I'd love to hear your questions, your comments, all that stuff below. Please like, share, comment below. I personally answer every single one of the comments that goes on below this video, and I'm excited to hear about what you're doing, what your questions are, and how I might be able to answer them. So with that, download this, print it over and over again for every deal you use, and I would love to hear your feedback on how you're raising private money using this one-page private money planner. With that, go out and crush this life.